Hello world, it's John Pinto, your roving realtor, bon vivant, video blogger, podcaster, and as usual, disembodied voice. And I am here with a very special person, Gavin Escolar of the Chaga Company. Say hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello, John. Thank you very much for having me in your podcast.
Very good. That is a very attractive ensemble you have on today.
Why, thank you. It's actually made by my friend Lola of Lola's of San Francisco.
You know, I always say, whatever Lola wants, Lola gets.
Oh, she sure does.
Sarah Vaughan, one of my favorite Sarah Vaughan songs. So here we are, recording live at Inglenook as usual. By the way, FYI, called the crew over here, David Gates, Stephanie, Jesse, Michael, whoever, and put in your order for the 2017 Syrah. It is spectacular. I really like it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to include it in my next couple of shipments. So let me talk a little bit about, you might be asking, how did John meet this extremely good-looking, charming gentleman named Gavin Escolar? And believe it or not, I went on a Disney cruise, I think now that was 4 years ago.
Yes.
And here I am in downtown Juneau, landlocked, right? You get there by boat or plane. That's the only way you get there, correct?
It's like birth canal, boat, or plane. That's what they say.
Birth canal, boat. and I see a very cute coffee kiosk with all kinds of promotions on Chaga tea. I say, obviously, I need to be educated on Chaga tea. And, of course, Gavin, with his very sparkling personality, started to educate me on Chaga tea. And by the way, my friend Phil Florentino from Brooklyn is viewing now. Hi, Phil. How you doing?
Hello, Phil.
I miss your mom. I miss your brothers. I miss you. The Pinto boys say hi. And will you ship to Brooklyn, by the way?
We ship nationwide, all the way back up to Alaska to Hawaii.
Very good. Now, it is inevitable that some of my cousins in Europe will be watching too. That is probably much more difficult, I'm going to think.
Well, it's not necessarily that difficult. What we do is my website platform, if they order online, if they try to ship it internationally, the shipping will be zero, and I will contact them because international shipping rates are very different country to country.
Yes.
And then we would get a price quote on that. Okay. And then from there, they could continue the order, or I could refund them the initial order.
Okay, good, good. Well, I think that in that case, we better tell them what the hell Chaga is. Gavin, what exactly is Chaga?
Well, Chaga. Okay, so first of all, I have this test tube. This is my Chaga mushroom elixir powder. So Chaga is a polypore, or should I say a growth, and a superfood that's considered by many as has the highest amount of immune boosting properties and antioxidants on the planet. Moreover, I'm just going to put some Chaga in my coffee right now. And this is such a spectacular location here in Inglenook.
You can't beat Inglenook.
You can't beat it. So, anyways, it grows on the side of a white paper birch tree, and the closest relation to it is a truffle. Truffle grows by the side of the roots of the tree, and this one just grows on the side by the trunk itself. And what it does...
Probably on the north side of the tree, I'm going to guess.
I would presume so too, yes.
Okay.
And it likes to thrive in really desolate and harsh conditions. So, the harsher the conditions and the colder it gets, the more potent the Chaga is.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna say, you know, I have this little philosophy, Gavin. If it's good for Pinot Noir, cool and breezy, it's good for people to live in. If it's good for Cabernet Sauvignon, it's too hot to live in. If it's good for Chaga, you might find it a little cold and damp.
Yes, actually cold and icy.
Oh, cold and icy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the extreme over here. So, as you met me in Juneau, I was in Juneau researching Chaga and developing my business. So you saw me in the docks and the wharfs of Alaska, and moving forward, developed my business line and spent a couple of winters in Alaska and decided that it's time for me to go back to my hometown of San Francisco. So brought chaga here, and at the same time find out the finest source of chaga, which I found in Alaska. So I developed the relationships over there with natural sustainable harvesters and foragers. And what we have done is we have gotten the best chaga in Alaska, bring it down to San Francisco, where I turn into powder, tinctures, elixirs, coffee, tea, and now salt.
Salt. Well,
Yes.
You know, I always thought that Chaga was the drummer for Santana, but now I recall that was Sheil Escovedo, which kind of sounds like Gavin Escolar. Kind of.
Sorta, kind of.
But Chaga's got nothing to do with Carlos Santana.
No, nothing to do with it.
So tell us why Chaga has developed its reputation and its cult following, because I do know that it does have a cult following.
Yes, so chaga has been used since ancient times, and it's just getting more fashionable now because chaga, as a natural substance, has the highest amount of immune boosting properties. And you know, we are in the midst of a pandemic right now too. So building your immune system a natural way is suitably best for you.
And I understand that it also reduces inflammation.
It does.
And it serves as a blood thinner.
So the thing is that all of these things are components from the antioxidants that chaga possess. So it depends on your constitution on what this superfood can do for you. But as far as we know, it has enough compounds and nourishing components that actually it helps modulate your immune system to its highest potential.
Okay.
And the good thing about it is that you can put it in your Pinot Noir. You can put it on your Cabernet Sauvignon, all of the classifications of wines, because it doesn't necessarily have a strong flavor. You can even cook with it. That's why we're adding it into salt. I just want to make sure that people can use chaga in many, many different ways so that it's a lot easier for them to boost their immunity without changing their natural daily habits.
So hold that salt thought. So we've been going more plant-based lately.
Yes. You personally?
Yeah, mostly because of the inflammation aspects of going non-plant-based. But of course, you're in danger of having a vitamin B12 deficiency if you're going plant-based. So we have been using nutritional yeast as a seasoning. So it sounds like chaga can also be delivered to your food like nutritional yeast, sprinkling it on top.
Absolutely. Like, this is the perfect vehicle because this is the test tube and this is yours after we're done.
Oh boy.
So it's really cool because this one, look, all I need to do is put this much. Okay. You see that right there?
Yes. Yes.
And I just put it right there in my coffee. And you're good for the day. Even cook with it. And it would never alter the taste or the experience that you have.
Good. Do me a favor. Just poke some in my hand. See, look, I'm really here.
There's a hand.
I'm really here.
You go. There you
That's
go.
good. That's good. Gavin, talk to the hand.
Okay.
Talk to the hand.
As you can see, it blends really well. It doesn't necessarily have a flavor. So you can incorporate the tinctures with your alcohol thing, and these powders, you can mix it with your food.
It has a consistency of nutmeg.
It does, but it doesn't have that nutmeg flavor. It's
No.
very woody, if anything. Vanilla wood
Yeah.
is the closest relation that I could say.
Yes. I can see where it's not going to interfere. As a matter of fact, you could probably set up a salt pig in your kitchen and do 50% chaga granules, 50% kosher salt.
So we have the chaga salt already. So,
Oh, you do?
Yeah. We have the sea salt and the myco salt. So the sea salt is our regular chaga. It's basically our hand-harvested salt that we found on the lost coast of Mendocino. And then we infuse it with chaga. And we have a fine granular black truffle-infused salt alongside with chaga and other functional mushrooms like reishi, turkey tail, and lion's mane. For example, lion's mane, it's amazing. Yes. So
Yes, we have a vendor, Barry.
Oh, of course we do.
Far west.
right across the
I
bridge from me.
think he's got excessive personality
One of the many.
syndrome, just like you and me. And he has the lion's mane tincture at his booth.
He does. But when regards to lion's mane, my favorite way of delivery for lion's mane is to actually eat it. because lion's mane mushrooms is a really good substitute for crab and lobster. It has the same consistency.
Oh, is that so?
Oh, absolutely. You could tempura it, pan fry it. It is one of my most favorite mushrooms ever. And it gives out very mega microscopic nutrients. I don't even know if that's a word, because it penetrates through your cellular walls. And that micronutrients are so fine that it actually nourishes your brain and the nerve, the cranial nerve endings, I guess, between the communication between your brain and your gut.
Oh, okay, good. So don't mean to crawl down this rabbit hole, but I'm going to try it anyway. I have recently acquired and occasionally drink Rooibos.
Rooibos, yes.
It's a tea from the bark of trees in South Africa. It has no caffeine attached to it. It's a little nutty. I have found it to be, sometimes it's slightly upsetting, but nothing terrible. But I've found it's a little harder to take than chamomile. Does Chaga have anything to do with Rooibos, because they're both apparently from barks of trees?
That's a very good question. A lot of people think that plant-based and fungi-based nutrients are the same. They are not. Some plant-based nutrients are higher than micronutrients, fungal nutrients, but at the same time, it's based upon the compatibility of nutrients between your body and the food that you're taking.
Right.
Rooibos, that comes from a bark, even though that they have different, they're very beneficial. And I use Rooibos myself too. And I use that as a decaf substitute to my masala chai. So, they usually say that, scientists says that DNA composition of fungus is far more compatible than plant DNA. So, getting nourishment from fungal DNA that's more compatible with your DNA, it's much more suitable.
Okay, good. So let's talk a little bit about quote-unquote relief. Now, I will tell you, surprisingly, that since my wife and I have gone more plant-based, we have noticed that she's been suffering from some neuropathy in her feet, some discomfort. And since we went plant-based, she hasn't had an episode of the neuropathy for like 6-7 months.
Oh, fantastic.
After going plant-based. So let's talk a little bit about Chaga. Chaga obviously is in the plant-based universe.
It is.
And for people that are suffering from certain types of symptoms and discomfort, what do you find Chaga may give them some relief sooner rather than later on?
Well, Chaga, essentially, I don't know about relief. The thing is that Chaga has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties. And whatever those components that promotes anti-inflammatory properties.
Yes.
And so whatever these anti-inflammatories does for you, if that spells relief, Chaga will provide.
Well, let me throw you a softball. The summer before last summer, I discovered after a summer's bout of gout.
You had gout, yes.
I had gout pretty much for the entire summer. A year ago.
Too much wine, too much crab.
Well, I like tripe. I like pig snout. I like gizzards. I like kidney.
Oh, the good one.
I like hearts.
Liver.
I like pigskin braciole.
Oh, yes.
I
get it.
I like lamb tongue. I like it all. I like the awful offal. And so I had flare-ups on both big toes, feet. And my gout, upon taking some blood tests, was 9.2. I think normal is 6.
Wow.
Now I'm down around 6.5. I'm almost at normal. But once I went plant-based, no gout. So I pretty much, occasionally I'll have a bone marrow. Occasionally I'll have steak tartare.
Yes.
But I have pretty much untethered myself, weaned myself off of offal and gone more with the plant-based, and that has caused me some immediate relief without having gout attacks. I'm going to imagine that with Chaga being the anti-inflammatory that it is, that would help with arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, gout, sore back in your L3, L4.
Actually, for me, a personal experience, the way I found Chaga is when I was in Alaska. That's where you met me.
Yeah.
And I was actually having a lot of problems with my sciatic nerve. And my Eskimo friends basically told me to take Chaga. And I said no. And, I tried the tinctures and I also tried the Chaga tea. And after 2 weeks, my pain from my sciatic nerve is almost gone. So I think that for me personally, Chaga has decreased my inflammation, gave me a lot of energy, clarity, and focus, and at the same time made me live a far more healthier lifestyle than where I was before.
Very good. And what vehicle do you prefer to take it in? As a matter of fact, you could list the primary delivery systems for Chaga into
Yes.
the body. What's number one?
Number one for me is the tinctures. The tinctures, alcohol tinctures, is much preferred for me because
Now, is that in an eyedropper under the tongue?
yes, exactly. And you could use that eyedropper too, that you can put it in your tea, coffee, or food. Because if you put it underneath your tongue, it goes directly into your bloodstream. So I do that in the morning, and in the afternoon, I take it again, but I mix it either with food or take it orally, so it goes directly into my digestive tract. So
Right.
not only it nourishes my circulatory system, but at the same time my digestive system too as well.
Okay. And how often do you like to take it in an eyedropper under the tongue?
Twice a day.
Once for breakfast, once for dinner?
One for breakfast, one for like early afternoon.
Okay. After you eat or before you eat?
Anytime.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. And by the way, for our listeners, you may notice that we do have a little bit of a Neapolitan soundtrack. For those that know me, you know I always have a Neapolitan soundtrack going.
We are in Inglenook after all.
That's right. Inglenook Francis Ford Coppola is a fellow Southern Italian. He does have Neapolitan roots. And
Fabulous chateau, I'll tell you that.
Yes, and he does have a Neapolitan soundtrack that I am lucky enough to coincide with today. So number two delivery system.
So it's first of all are the tinctures. I have a alcohol base, which is the classic one, and the apple cider vinegar base. A lot of my clients who are suffering for arthritis and any other joint or physical ailments, they say that the alcohol one works really well for them. And for gut health and migraines, the apple cider works really well for them.
Okay, so the alcohol one, how large is the container in the alcohol one?
It is 2 ounces. Both apple cider and alcohol are 2 ounces.
And what is the alcohol content?
It's 15% organic grain alcohol, so it's only a deliverable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and do you mix that with water?
It is extracted with water, and at the same time using alcohol as a deliverable to open up the 2 big veins underneath your tongue.
Okay, very good. Okay, so we got the alcohol drink, for lack of a better word, syrup, whatever you want to call it.
Tinctures.
Tinctures, okay. And then next we have what is similar to apple cider vinegar, except it's not apple cider vinegar.
It is
It is.
It's basically the same product, but one is an alcohol deliverable, and the other one is apple cider vinegar deliverable. Both are effective, and both have the same strength. It's just different deliverables.
Is that 2 ounces?
2 ounces too as well. And the apple cider one is the natural substitute that we use for people who could not take alcohol.
Okay, and do you dispense that in water with yet again an eyedropper?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So then number 4 has got to be the tea, I'm going to guess.
No, actually, it's this one.
It's the
this is the
sprinkles.
Chaga powder. It's our daily nourish powder. This is a 30-day supply of Chaga that you can sprinkle it like a seasoning on anything, coffee,
Okay.
tea, or food.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, tasting that, I'm thinking I would make a custom. Well, you got your salt.
We have salt next.
I'm
yes.
going to be very interested in that. So, is that the next deliverable?
So yes. So what I have done is I have hired a culinary lead who just recently got out from the French Laundry, and we developed the salt. So we have two salts. One is a sea salt. That's a regular salt that you can use for garnish, and the other one is a myco salt. So mycology, the study of fungus and mushrooms, we call it myco salt because it's with chaga, reishi, turkey tail, lion's mane, and the black truffle flavor.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, that sounds good.
Fabulous.
And how big of a container is the
They
salt?
are 4 ounces each.
4 ounces. Okay. And they're in metal tins.
They are in glass tins with metal caps.
Okay. That sounds good. That sounds good. I think I'm going to pick up a couple of those.
Oh, thank you.
On Saturday.
Please.
Well, I'm Neapolitan. We like our salt. I don't think I'm going to waste it throwing it in my boiling spaghetti.
I hope not.
But if I do make some seared salmon or yellowtail or something, I'll definitely finish it with the Chaga salt.
Just finish all your food with it.
Yeah. No, that sounds good.
The salt for me, here's the thing. It's just like right now, I just want everyone to take chaga. Because chaga is a proven way and one of the easiest way for you to boost your immune system naturally.
Okay, so are we on to tea as a delivery system
Not
yet?
yet.
Not yet.
After the
The
salt.
suspense is killing me.
Oh yes, the chocolate. Have you ever tried our chocolate before? It's made by our master chocolatier. It's vegan, gluten-free. We also have recipes in our website on how to make our chocolate into brownies, cocktail drinks, even hot chocolate with our chocolate bars.
Wow, you're like Mr. Chaga.
Oh, I have to be. Who else is going to do it but me?
Is the chocolate 70% dark chocolate?
It is 70% vegan dark chocolate, and it's handmade and handcrafted by our Peruvian master chocolatier. And he hand paints it in gold at the end, and we're going to call it Chaga Diamonds because we're doing.
I'm going to buy some of that Saturday too.
Yes, please.
While we're talking about, I'm going to buy some of that on Saturday. Can you tell our viewing audience first of all, what farmers markets do you display at?
So during the winter months, we are dwindled down to 6. So we currently have Napa on Saturdays. We also have Grand Lake, Oakland, and College of San Mateo. On Sundays, we have Outer Sunset in San Francisco, Stone Sound in San Francisco, and in Burlingame. Tuesdays, we are in Petaluma, and Thursdays, we're also at the Marin Farmers Markets. Whereas in the summer, we go up all the way up to 26 farmers markets all over the Bay Area and Southern California too as well.
Oh my God! So, do you go like from Gilroy to Healdsburg?
Pretty much starting from Napa all the way down to Santa Barbara.
Holy Toledo! How many reps do you have?
So I have 6 dedicated Chaga Bites.
Chaga Bites. Like Jacobites. You know what a Jacobite is?
No, I don't.
Jacobites were the Scottish rebels rebelling against the English crown.
Are they the ones wearing blue?
Yeah, the powder blue. Very good.
I know my history somewhat.
So you got Chaga Bites.
I have Chaga Bites.
Very good. Well, we might as well multitask here. Sounds like you're on the go. Are you looking to hire any more Chaga Bites?
I'm always looking to hire more Chaga Bites who can represent the brand the right way and who has a sincere caring and compassion to people who wants to live their life better.
Okay, good. That sounds good. Well, I am delighted that I am aware that the delivery systems are so thorough. I mean, you and your product remind me a little bit of Samantha Payon at the farmers market, Golden State Pickle Works.
Oh, I know Sam. Sam is adorable.
Yeah, she is. And there's a learning curve to understanding her products.
Yes.
She specializes in fermented vegetables. Mm-hmm. And, it seems like any time I have an Inglenook interview, her name always comes up.
Well, you should interview her here.
The last interview I did with her was up at Archetype in St. Helena.
You should interview her about her aluminum mayonnaise.
Oh, yeah.
It's delicious.
Yes.
The awesome part about the Napa Valley Farmers Market, there's truly are a fine selection of handcrafted goods and really amazing fresh and curated produce over there.
Yeah. Have you tried the potato chips?
But yeah, and West One bread, my thing.
Oh, yeah.
Of course,
with
fried beverages.
the potato chips, if you go down to the guys that have the ahi poke, putting some of that ahi poke on the potato chip,
And you're good.
that is the bomb. and the Colombian guy with the empanadas.
Yes. Milagro, isn't it?
What's that?
Is that the name, Milagro?
Yeah.
Aha.
And they just started making tuna empanadas.
Ooh.
And since I'm going plant-based, my pecking order is plant-based, but behind it is pescatarian, seafood. Meat's bringing up the rear.
Okay. Right now, my current diet has moved into, every meat and stuff like that. But my priority is now fish and vegetables.
Yeah.
And then I will only eat beef if it's the finest quality.
Yeah.
Like A5 Wagyu, Kobe beef,
Yeah.
bone marrow, of course.
Yeah. I find, and this is a little tip for those in the viewing audience that might want to go more plant-based. The first step in going more plant-based is stocking your refrigerator and your freezer and your pantry with more plant-based opportunities.
Absolutely. Well, for me, my thing is, if you develop a habit of actually going to the farmer's market and looking at the people who grows and
Yeah.
take pride on your vegetables and your produce, you're much more inclined to eat it with pride too as well.
Yeah.
And plant-based diets are so good on that because you know exactly who grew your vegetables.
I agree 100%. I do not feel comfortable buying my food of any ilk from any large corporation. I would rather look at the people who are providing me with fruit, vegetables, meat, lamb, fish, and knowing exactly who they are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me too as well. For example, now, given the fact that I spend a lot of my time in the farmer's market, it behooves me to actually eat from the farmer's market.
Yeah.
And I don't go to restaurants as much anymore. Moreover, the Chaga Company is now doing a series of short cooking shows on how we can make fabulous food for you, very healthy, with Chaga, on our videos coming out soon too on our website. It's actually coming out in 2 weeks using Chaga Salt, using our test tubes right here, tinctures, chocolates, including our teas and coffee.
Nice. So let's get back to the pecking order on the delivery systems. So let's see. Did we leave off on the salt?
We did the tinctures. That was my priority, number one.
Yeah.
Number two is the test tubes, which are these.
Yes.
And then the next one is the salt, and the fourth one is chocolate. So
Chocolate, okay.
yes, and the next one, teas and coffee is,
And the apple cider vinegar.
in the apple cider vinegar is actually on top alongside with the alcohol tincture because that's a substitute for alcohol.
Right. Now, since you are not only a Chaga expert, but you're also a tea and coffee expert, I got a question for you.
I might have an answer.
The other day, I got my Breville grind control burr grinder coffee maker. I buy it from Derek at Ohm Coffee at the farmer's market.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic coffee.
And since I'm going plant-based, one of the first things I weaned myself off of was milk and half. And I'm using the Oatly oat milk.
Fabulous.
Now, I'm not sure if it was an accurate reading or not, but when my wife took my blood sugar levels, the day before they were like 25 points less when I didn't put the oat milk in my coffee, because the oat milk does have some carbohydrates which metabolizes it to sugar. My question to you is, if I don't want to drink my morning coffee black, but I want to put something in it, but that is not going to have a lot of carbohydrates and sugar and won't impact my blood sugar, do you have any suggestions?
Is fat okay?
Fat is fine.
Macadamia nut milk.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's not going to have a lot of carbohydrates.
I don't think it does.
Yeah.
You just have to look at it if it's sugar content or not.
I think you're right.
Macadamia nut milk is delicious. It's expensive and a butterball of amazingness.
Yeah, I think Derek serves macadamia milk.
It's delicious.
Yeah, nut milk. Yeah.
It truly is, especially with coffee and my chaga. Try it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good. And I guess with the fat, you're going to get a good mouthfeel.
It's all about experiences now, John. You know this.
Yes. Listening to you on this interview, when I first met you, I just thought you were an extremely good-looking but vacuous guy that didn't know anything. But now I know beneath those extreme good looks, you actually know stuff.
Thank you. It took me a long time and lots of research for me to know what I know, and I'm continuously learning. Thanks to all my friends and colleagues who are experts in these industries.
That's right. Let's reminisce and go down memory lane.
Oh, I'm down all day long.
For the first time we met in Juneau, Alaska, at your coffee shop. I mean, there was an explosion of dueling personalities from Jump Street. Can you recount our initial encounter?
Oh, I remember this. It's like you came up in my coffee shop from the left, as I recall.
Yes.
I think it's right across from the green store and the fur store of Alaska.
I was walking from the cruise line port.
Yeah, the cruise line port, yes. And then there you had the coffee, and you're like, I'm from Napa. I'm all like, I'm from the Bay Area, too.
Yeah.
And we hit it off quite nicely.
Yeah, that was
And when
fun.
you said, when you're back in the Bay Area, hit me up, and I'll take you to Inglenook. And guess what I did?
That's my line.
I came back from the Bay Area, and we met exactly for 3.5 years ago here at Inglenook.
Yeah.
We were hanging out over there by the fountain.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Why meet anyplace else?
Stunning place.
Very good. So I think we have all the delivery systems down. We didn't leave anything out, did we?
No.
Okay.
So we have coffee, tea, powders, tinctures, elixirs, chocolate, and salt. And the awesome part about it, if you keep in tune with us, we're doing experiential dinners now too as well, alongside with recipes, and we're coming out with 2 cookbooks in the next couple of months. One of them is a Gavin Escolar and Friends Chaga cookbook, and the other one is Gavin and Chef Friends. So 2 different ones. One is very much heavily influenced with Filipino cuisine, and the chef's one
Go figure with a name like Escolar. Huh?
Oh, well, you know.
You were probably an altar boy like me.
Oh, altar boy. I don't know where church would that be, but sure. But yeah, so we have a lot of things that are coming out. We're also doing a lot of experiential dinners too as well. So if you want to have a private Chaga nourishing experiential dinner, reach out to me. We can make things happen.
That sounds good. So let's advise our viewing audience. There's phone, there's the website, there's email. How do you like people to contact you to put in orders?
Well, the best way is to go through my website, www.thechagaco.com, which is the Chaga Company, or type in Gavin Chaga on Google. I pop out. And just order online, and any orders after $60 is free shipping. And I usually throw in a gift. Just say that you heard us from Mr. John Pinto's podcast and video production, and I will give you a healthy gift that goes along with your order.
That is great. Now, you did mention coffee and tea. I'm a little interested in knowing more about that. With my... Obviously, you're not selling whole beans. You're selling ground coffee, correct?
Correct. So, my coffee and tea department of my company, that's actually the driving force that made me go into Chaga.
Okay.
So, I developed a line of teas with a master tea maker in San Francisco, and we found this 6 different flavors to be the best deliverable and experience for everyone. So we have a masala chai, sage mint tea that helps you calm down and goes to sleep, jasmine green that can be served iced or hot, our standard Earl Grey, yerba mate, who wants a really high caffeine thing, and at the same time, our luxuriant hot chocolate that is also used for baking and other additives too that you can make mocha with it and whatnot.
Very good. How about for us that like the barnyard taste of puer?
Oh, puer coffee. Now, this is the beautiful part about Chaga. You can get your favorite puer and get one of these test tubes and put Chaga in it.
Ah, okay.
It's all about the versatility of Chaga and the accessibility for you to actually nourish your immune system.
So let's talk about brewing, because tea.
Yes.
Because I feel that a lot of people go awry
Yes.
with brewing. When I brew my puer tea, first of all, I rinse it.
Yes.
Okay. And then I like my water at about 180, 185 degrees. And I will steep it no more than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And it comes out pretty black. Does that work if you infuse it with the chaga too?
Yes. So the awesome part about this is that not only you can put it in your brewer or your favorite tea or coffee, but at the same time, you can put this and it will activate in any degrees of temperature less than 250 degrees. And boiling point is way less than
212.
212, exactly.
Yeah.
So you could put this on your coffee and tea, get the same experience, but full of antioxidants and immune boosting properties.
Let's talk about your ground coffee. I'm going to assume it's not an espresso grind; it's a medium grind.
It's a coarse grind because it's originally for cold brew.
Okay, so it's a coarse grind. That's coarse grind is like for French press.
Yes,
Okay, so French press is a good delivery system.
it is because a lot of people. First of all, Barbara Lou McDowell. She is my inspiration for my cold brew elixir. She's 59 years old. Looks like she's 30 years old. And she drinks this religiously. And it's essentially ground coffee with cacao, maca, cayenne pepper, cinnamon, monk fruit, chaga, reishi, and turkey tail. So you could use it as a hot coffee. But what she usually does is she steeps it for 16 hours in her fridge and then strain it after. And she has a full gallon of it.
So if I drink that concoction, how many days will it take me to look just like her?
I don't know. But you'll be awake, that's for sure.
Very good, very good. So let's repeat that website one more time. Please.
Yes, it's the Chaga Company, www.thechagaco.com, thechagaco.com.
Very good. And your presence is at farmers markets, correct?
Yes. So I am always either in farmers markets or one of my Chaga Bites, and you can always go online, or you can subscribe to our newsletter called Chaga Chat, where we have our videos, recipes, even coupons that comes out on a weekly basis. It comes out every Friday.
Very good. Well, I am so glad that you were able to come out of your shell today, Gavin.
To Inglenook and to see you, but of course.
Gavin, when you and I meet, there are never any of those uncomfortable pregnant pauses in the conversation.
Oh, we already delivered many things.
Very good. So for those of you that are in the vicinity of the North Bay on Saturday morning, Gavin will be at the Napa Farmers Market from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And I'm sure you probably have a list of the farmers markets you're attending on the website, correct?
Yes. Not only we have a list, but please subscribe to our newsletter, Chaga Chat. We have a weekly updates on our farmers markets alongside with our specific treats and snacks that comes along with it too.
Very good, very good. Good. So is there anything that you would like to say to our viewing audience before we conclude our recording?
Have you taken your Chaga today?
That's right.
Take Chaga.
Be good boys and girls. Thank you very much for tuning in. And again, of course, if you're in the North Bay, definitely visit Inglenook. Inglenook is open on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think they may start at 10:30. They close at 5. Definitely my favorite venue in the entire universe, with the sole exception of my terrace. Talk to you soon. Thank you, Gavin.
Thank you.